Welcome back to the Fantasy Price Check. Today we're going to be taking a look at Courtland Sutton. If this is your first time here, let me tell you what we do here on the channel. We take a look at player ADPs and we let you know if a certain player is overpriced, underpriced, or fairly priced. And today we're getting into Courtland Sutton. We're going to be doing price checks like these all season long leading up to draft, so be sure to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing to this channel, you will hashtag win the draft. Let's get into Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton is currently being drafted in the middle of the 4th round. He's currently being drafted after Calvin Ridley and A.J. Brown and ahead of Robert Woods and Keenan Allen. I have to start off and say that I absolutely love Courtland Sutton. However, I did not expect his ADP to be this high. I was hoping that I would be able to grab Courtland Sutton in rounds 5 and 6 of drafts this year. Although his ADP is sitting in the 4th round, according to Fantasy Pros, I have seen him go in mock drafts in rounds 5 and 6. I currently have Courtland Sutton ranked as my wide receiver 21, but I'm not trying to fade Courtland Sutton. I just have a few other wide receivers ranked a little bit higher than him. I currently have Tyler Lockett and Keenan Allen ahead of Sutton. Let's see if I should be moving Sutton into my top 20. Here's what Courtland Sutton did in his second year. He had 124 targets for 72 receptions, 1,112 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And that finished last year as the wide receiver 19. Last year, Sutton ranked 15th in targets, 20th in receptions, and 17th in receiving yards. And his yards per route run ranked 12th, which is a great indicator of how efficient a wide receiver is. Courtland Sutton was also heavily used in the red zone. He had 11 red zone receptions, which ranked 9th in the league, and he had the highest target share among wide receivers inside the 30. Sutton commanded a 37% target share inside the 30, which is higher than Michael Thomas, Cooper Kupp, and Keenan Allen. The Broncos also love using Courtland Sutton down the field. He ranked 10th in total target distance. He saw 26 deep targets, which ranked 11th, and his deep receiving yards ranked 6th among wide receivers. And keep in mind that Courtland Sutton could have had better numbers if he had better quarterback play. Courtland Sutton did all of this with 3 different quarterbacks last season. Sutton's catch percentage was 57% last year, which was due to poor quarterback play. If you were able to increase his catch percentage by 5 to 10% due to better quarterback play, that could add on another 6 to 12 receptions and another 100 to 200 receiving yards. Sutton only had 3 drops last year, and his catch rate on catchable targets was 78%. What's interesting to see is how the Broncos' QB situation affected Sutton's production. When Joe Flacco was the starter for the Broncos from weeks 1 through 8, Courtland Sutton was a wide receiver 13, and he was on pace for 1,250 yards. Brandon Allen then got 3 games, and then Drew Lock took over as a starter in week 13. When Drew Lock was the starter, the Broncos went 4-1. However, Courtland Sutton was a wide receiver 27 during that stretch, and his 16-game pace with Drew Lock would only come out to 900 yards. It should be noted that from weeks 1 through 8, Courtland Sutton was putting up those big numbers while Emmanuel Sanders was on the team. Sanders was traded after week 8, and that's when you saw a drop in Courtland Sutton's production. And I believe that Sutton's numbers took a dip after the Sanders trade because defenses were able to focus in on Courtland Sutton because he was the only pass-catching weapon that the Broncos had. A lot of people are fading Courtland Sutton because of the presence of Jerry Jeudy and how that could affect his target share. However, that could be a mistake because what we saw is that Sutton was playing better when there was another receiving option on the field with him. Last year, Courtland Sutton's target share was 26%, which ranked 8th among wide receivers. That target share could take a dip with the additions of Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, and Melvin Gordon, along with the development of Noah Fant. However, Courtland Sutton could thrive with more weapons on the field because it could lead to a better offense and more opportunities. The Broncos had the 5th worst passing offense last year and also had the 6th fewest passing attempts in the league. If you believe in Drew Lock, Courtland Sutton can have a very nice season. Even if you see a dip in Courtland Sutton's target share from 26% to 22%, if the Broncos have a better offense, the increase in passing plays will make up for the dip in target share. There's also a lot that I like about Drew Lock. He has a strong arm that's able to get the ball down the field, which is where Courtland Sutton thrives. Do yourself a favor and go ahead and watch some of Courtland Sutton's highlights last year. They are extremely impressive, and I'm going to be throwing up a link up in the info card above, so be sure to check that out at the end of this video. Courtland Sutton is an alpha receiver. He is 6'4" and 215 pounds. He's able to beat defenders down the field with his speed. He has a great catch radius. He's able to high point the football, and he's great at contested catches. He's also a beast with the ball in his hands that's hard to take down. He had 12 broken tackles last year, which ranked 1st among wide receivers. He's also a guy that the Broncos love to use in the red zone. He had 20 red zone targets last year, which ranked 9th among wide receivers. Courtland Sutton is checking off all the boxes that you're looking for in a wide receiver. He's heavily targeted, he's used down the field, and he's used in the red zone. His game reminds me a bit of Kenny Golladay, and I think you may see that leap from his second year to third year like Kenny Golladay had last year. In his second year, Kenny Golladay had 70 receptions for 1,063 yards and 5 touchdowns, and in his third season in the league, he had 65 receptions for 1,190 yards and 11 touchdowns. If Courtland Sutton takes that third-year leap, he is going to put up monster numbers. I think you could easily see 120 targets for 80 receptions, 1,200 yards, and 6+ touchdowns for Courtland Sutton this year. Based upon that stat line, he would finish as a wide receiver 14 based upon last year's finishes. At the wide receiver 19, Courtland Sutton is fairly priced. I would be very happy with him as my wide receiver 2, and his combination of deep targets and red zone targets gives him top 15 upside. If you see Sutton falling into the 5th or 6th round of your draft, you need to be taking him there. Guys, if you like what we're doing here on the channel, I want you to smash that like button and click subscribe. We're going to be doing this all season long leading up to drafts. And if you want to check out other wide receiver price checks that we've done in the past, I'm going to throw up a playlist in the corner of your screen, so be sure to check those out. And I'll see you guys on the next one.